What if one small decision today could change the entire direction of your life? Not next year, not someday, but right now. It's easy to ignore the little things, to brush off the small habits, the 5-minute routines, the daily choices that seem too insignificant to matter. But what if those are the very things holding the key to your future? Because the truth is, your life doesn't change in one big dramatic moment. It changes quietly, invisibly, in the small steps you take every day, the ones no one sees. The ones that feel too easy to matter until they add up and transform everything. Most people wait for the perfect time. They wait for motivation to strike, for the stars to align, for something outside of them to change. But change doesn't begin outside. It begins within. The life you want, the person you dream of becoming, it's not waiting at the top of a mountain. It's buried in your daily choices. It's hidden in how you spend your mornings, how you talk to yourself, what you choose to believe, and what you choose to ignore. And here's the hard truth. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you've always gotten. Nothing changes unless you do. That might feel heavy, but it's actually powerful. Because it means your life is still in your hands. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin with one habit, one shift, one small change that, when repeated, becomes a pattern. And when that pattern is built with purpose, everything starts to move. Momentum takes over. Confidence rises. Clarity sharpens. Suddenly, you're not chasing motivation. You're living with it. You're not hoping to change. You are changing. This isn't about overnight success. It's about deliberate growth, consistency, becoming the kind of person who chooses growth over comfort, action over fear, discipline over distraction. And every time you do that, you send a signal to your mind. This is who I am now. That identity, repeated and reinforced, becomes unshakable. And from that identity, you can build anything. So if you're tired of feeling stuck, tired of living on repeat, tired of wondering when your time will come, this is your moment. Not because everything is perfect, but because you're ready to make a new choice. And it doesn't have to be big, it just has to begin. One habit at a time. One decision made with intention. That's how real change happens. Stay with this message, not because it's inspiring, but because it's possible. Because deep down you know you're capable of more. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're becoming. The habits you choose next will shape the story you tell later. So ask yourself right now, who do you want to become? And what's one small habit you're ready to build that brings you closer to that version of you? Start here. Start now. If change starts with one small habit, then what keeps most people from starting? It's not lack of desire. It's not laziness. It's fear. Fear of failing. Fear of looking foolish. Fear that it won't work. Fear that they'll try and still be stuck. But fear is a liar. It whispers that your efforts don't matter, that you'll always be this way, that your past defines your future. And if you listen to that voice long enough, it becomes your truth. But here's the reality. Fear only survives in silence and stillness. The moment you move, even slightly, fear starts to weaken. And in its place, courage begins to grow. The reason most people stay stuck isn't because they're incapable. It's because they've been conditioned to doubt themselves. Every time you said, I'll start tomorrow, and didn't, your mind logged that as evidence. Every time you gave up halfway through, it added to the story. Over time, that story becomes your identity. I'm not consistent. I'm not motivated. And never follow through. I never follow through. And the more you repeat it, the more you believe it. But that story is not your truth. It's just a script you've been reading from. And at any moment, you can write a new one. You don't need to take massive leaps to rewrite that story. You just need to make new decisions and stick to them long enough for your brain to catch up. That's how confidence is built. Not from outcomes, but from evidence. Each time you follow through, no matter how small, you're creating proof that you can trust yourself. And self-trust is the foundation of everything you want. Discipline, progress, transformation. Because when you trust yourself, you stop waiting. You stop wishing. You begin acting. Every habit you build either strengthens that trust or weakens it. And every day is a new opportunity to cast a vote for the person you want to become. You're not broken. You're not missing anything. You're simply standing at a crossroads. Stay where it's familiar and predictable, or step into discomfort and grow. One leads to regret. The other leads to possibility. But you can't have both. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of who you really are, before the fear, before the doubt, before life convinced you that settling was safe. You were born with power, but power unused turns to pain, and eventually that pain becomes bitterness. That's why this moment matters, not just for today, but for everything that comes after. Because when you change the way you show up in your daily life, you change your results, your relationships, your future. You become magnetic, unstoppable, aligned. There's nothing wrong with you. You just haven't fully committed to your own potential yet, but that can change now. The path is already inside you. You just need to walk it. Choose discipline over doubt, purpose over fear, growth over comfort, because the life you want is already waiting for you. It's just on the other side of a habit you haven't started yet. The way you begin your day shapes the way you live your life. Before the world speaks to you, before distractions pull at your attention, there's a quiet space, a moment where you choose who you are going to be. And most people waste. They wake up already defeated, already behind, already overwhelmed. They reach for their phones, scroll through noise, and let the world decide their focus. But the first hour of your day is sacred. It's not about being busy. It's about being intentional. That small habit, waking up with purpose, can become the anchor for your entire transformation. You don't have to overhaul your life before sunrise. You just have to begin the day on your terms. Open your eyes and remember your vision. Stand up with a reason, not just out of routine. Even 5 minutes of clarity can reset the course of your entire day. What matters most is not how much you do, but how deeply you feel your why. Purpose creates energy. When you wake up connected to your purpose, discipline becomes natural. Focus becomes effortless. Doubt loses its grip. Loses its grip. You're no longer reacting, you're leading. Most people stumble into their day and wonder why they feel lost. They let the morning control them instead of controlling the morning. And over time, those aimless starts create aimless lives. But when you take back that first moment, when you claim the morning as your own, you plant a flag in your mind that says, I am in control now. What? That shift changes everything. It builds momentum before doubt even has a chance to speak. And momentum is what turns effort into progress and progress into transformation. This isn't about perfection. You don't need an elaborate routine. You don't need to do what anyone else does. You just need to make one powerful decision, to rise with intention. To begin your day with the mindset of someone who is becoming, someone who is no longer willing to drift. Because when your mornings are grounded in purpose, your days become meaningful. And when your days become meaningful, your life becomes unstoppable. The habit of waking up with purpose is simple, but it's not easy. It requires choosing yourself before the noise, choosing vision over comfort, choosing action over hesitation. But if you can win that first battle, if you can meet yourself each morning with strength and direction, you'll be shocked at how fast your life starts to shift. What once felt heavy will feel lighter. What once felt out of reach will begin to move closer. You are not here to repeat yesterday. You are not here to wake up just to survive another day. You are here to lead your life, to take control of your energy, your thoughts, your actions. And it all begins in that first quiet moment when no one is watching, when no one is expecting. Just you, your breath, and your decision to rise differently. That is where power begins. And it's waiting for you tomorrow morning. Before anything becomes real in your life, it must first become real in your mind. If you can't see it, you'll never build it. If you don't believe it, you'll never chase it. Every outcome begins as a vision, clear, focused, and emotionally charged. And the most successful people don't leave that vision to chance. They see it daily. They rehearse it. They feel it. Because repetition isn't just for action. It's for belief. For belief. When you train your mind to see the life you want, your body starts to follow. Your choices begin to shift. Your habits realign. You stop making decisions based on who you've been and start choosing based on who you're becoming. It's not just about imagining success. It's about embedding it so deeply into your identity that anything less starts to feel unnatural. Visualization isn't some vague passive practice. It's mental conditioning. You're teaching your mind what to expect. You're rehearsing confidence, discipline, and victory before they happen. Discipline and victory before they happen. And when your brain accepts that reality, it starts filtering the world through that lens. You notice opportunities. You act with more certainty. You trust yourself faster. This is how belief is built, not in the moments of action, but in the moments of quiet preparation. If you wake up and let your mind wander to worry, fear, and limitation, you reinforce the very cage you're trying to escape. But if you wake up and deliberately direct your focus to what you're building, you set a new standard. not just for what you do, but for who you are. That's the power of visualizing your goals with intensity. You're not just thinking about the future, you're aligning with it. You're no longer a dreamer hoping things change. You become the creator, the builder, the force that brings vision into form. Your mind is always working. The question is, who is giving it the instructions? Are you letting the outside world program your thinking, or are you programming yourself? Every day you visualize with clarity and emotion. You take back control. You write the script. You prime your energy, your mindset, your focus. This habit costs you nothing, but it can unlock everything. 5 minutes of clear vision can erase hours of confusion. And when done consistently, it becomes a magnet, pulling you toward your highest potential without force, without burnout, without delay. You already have the blueprint inside you. Your job is to connect with it. Not once, not occasionally, but daily. Not just with words, but with feeling. Let your future become so familiar that it feels like coming home. That level of certainty shifts everything. And when your mind is certain, your actions become inevitable. No more hoping. No more trying, just being. Just living in alignment with the person you were always meant to be. Don't wait for the world to show you what's possible. Close your eyes, see it first, and then build it with everything you've got. Your future is waiting on your focus. Make it clear. Make it clear. Make it real. Every night holds a powerful opportunity that most people overlook. As the day fades and silence settles, your mind begins to settle into its deepest patterns. What you focus on before sleep shapes what your subconscious will work on through the night. When you choose to reflect on your victories, no matter how small, you feed your mind with proof of your capability. Writing down 3 wins each day is not just a task, it's a declaration. It tells your brain that progress is real, that you are moving forward, and that you are worthy of success. This simple act rewires your thinking from scarcity to abundance, from defeat to growth. Acknowledging wins creates momentum. It reminds you that every effort matters, even when the finish line feels far away. Your brain needs this evidence. It thrives on feedback. Without it, doubt sneaks in, whispering that nothing you do makes a difference. But when you consistently track your wins, you're building an unbreakable foundation of faith in yourself. That faith turns hesitation into action and dreams into plans. You start to expect success because you have proof it's already happening. Gratitude is woven into this habit too. Recognizing your progress cultivates a mindset of appreciation. Your mind doesn't just react to facts, the feelings. When you feel grateful for your wins, your brain releases chemicals that boost motivation and resilience. You build emotional strength that protects you when challenges come. This habit also combats the destructive cycle of negativity. So, when your mind dwells on failures, it triggers stress and discouragement. You become more likely to quit, to avoid risks, and to settle for less. But focusing on wins rewires this pattern. It trains your brain to search for evidence of progress, no matter how small, and to celebrate it. That celebration ignites a fire inside, a fire fueled by hope, confidence, and possibility. You don't need huge victories for this to work. Small wins count. Finishing a task, choosing to act despite fear, learning something new, each one is a step toward the life you want. Over time, these steps accumulate into unstoppable momentum. You become someone who moves forward naturally, without waiting for motivation or permission. You become someone who believes in their own power because you have proof, day after day. This practice is a gift you give yourself. It's an act of kindness toward your own growth and resilience. It transforms how you see your journey and how you feel about yourself. When you write down your wins, you're not just capturing moments. You're changing your inner story. You're telling yourself that you are capable, that progress is possible, and that your future is worth fighting for. This is how habits turn into transformation, one night at a time. And it all starts with the simple act of recognizing your own wins. Your mind is the battleground where your future is won or lost every single day. And what you feed it determines the direction you take. Negative thoughts, doubts, and fears act like poison, slowly eroding your confidence and resolve. But what if you could reprogram your mind to reject negativity before it takes hold? This is the power of controlling your inner dialogue. The silent conversation you have with yourself that shapes your beliefs, actions, and ultimately your destiny. The habit of speaking to yourself with kindness and encouragement isn't just feel-good advice. It's a science-backed strategy to break destructive cycles and build unshakable self-belief. Imagine the weight lifted when you stop being your own worst enemy. When instead of criticizing every misstep, you choose to speak words that uplift, guide, and inspire. That voice inside your head has immense influence. It can keep you stuck or it can propel you forward. When you catch yourself slipping into self-doubt or harsh judgment, pause and replace those thoughts with affirmations rooted in truth. Not empty promises, but honest reminders of your strengths and potential. This practice rewires neural pathways, gradually transforming your mental environment into fertile ground for growth and courage. This habit also reduces stress and anxiety. Negative self-talk triggers your brain's threat response, flooding your body with stress hormones that impair decision-making and sap energy. But positive self-talk calms your nervous system, boosts resilience, and sharpens focus. It prepares you to face challenges with a clear mind and steady heart. Every encouraging phrase you tell yourself builds mental muscle, strengthening your ability to bounce back from setbacks and keep pushing forward. The language you use matters deeply because it shapes your identity. When you say, "I am capable," you send a message to your brain that rewires your self-perception. Over time, you start to live in alignment with that belief. You stop making excuses. You stop hesitating. You become the person who acts, who perseveres, who wins. And this shift happens quietly but powerfully, changing the way you approach goals, obstacles, and even everyday tasks. This doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to be your own ally instead of your own adversary. You acknowledge where you can improve without tearing yourself down. You embrace challenges as opportunities to grow rather than reasons to quit. And in doing so, you open the door to a new level of self-confidence that fuels consistent action and progress. Mastering your inner dialogue is not an instant fix. It requires awareness, patience, and practice. But each time you replace a negative thought with a positive one, you are training your brain to see possibility instead of limitation. You are reclaiming your power over your mindset and your future. This habit, when woven into your daily life, becomes the foundation for unstoppable momentum and lasting transformation. Your words to yourself matter more than you realize. Choose them wisely, speak them often, and watch your world begin to change from the inside out. The energy you carry throughout your day is shaped not only by your thoughts, but by how you care for your body. Your physical state is the foundation for mental clarity, emotional balance, and the drive to push beyond limits. Neglecting your body leaves you vulnerable to fatigue, distraction, and weakened willpower. But cultivating the habit of daily movement isn't about punishment or perfection. It's about honoring the vessel that holds your potential. Even a brief moment dedicated to physical activity awakens your mind, sharpens your focus, and ignites a surge of confidence that carries into every decision and action. Movement releases powerful chemicals in your brain, dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins that elevate your mood and strengthen your resilience. These natural boosters reduce stress, ease anxiety, and fuel motivation. When you engage your body, you're not just building strength or stamina, you're rewiring your brain to crave progress and positivity. That burst of energy becomes a catalyst, shifting your mindset from "eat can't" to "I will." It's a simple, scientifically supported truth. Action leads to motivation, not the other way around. Waiting to feel motivated before moving is a trap. Movement creates motivation. This habit doesn't require hours at the gym or extreme workouts. It can be as simple as stretching, walking, or a few focused exercises to awaken your senses and align your body with your goals. The key is consistency. The cumulative effect of daily movement rewires your physiology and mindset. You create a feedback loop where increased energy leads to better choices, which leads to more energy, and so on. You start to see yourself as someone who takes care of their body, someone who values their health and vitality. That identity shift ripples through your life, raising the standards you set for yourself in every area. Physical movement also trains discipline. Showing up for your body daily requires commitment and overcoming resistance. That resistance you face in those moments is the same resistance you'll confront in other parts of your life. Fear, procrastination, Doubt. Oh. When you learn to push through it here, you build mental toughness that empowers you everywhere else. The habit of movement becomes a practice ground for resilience. It teaches you that discomfort is temporary, growth is possible, and the effort you put in today changes your tomorrow. Taking care of your body is also an act of self-respect. It signals to your subconscious that you value your future, that you deserve to feel strong, capable, and alive. When you honor yourself this way, you protect yourself from the drain of negative self-talk and defeatism. Your body becomes a source of power instead of a burden. You carry yourself differently. Your confidence grows not just from your accomplishments, but from the simple daily act of showing up for yourself. The habit of daily movement is more than physical. It's transformational. It connects your mind, body, and spirit into a unified force driving you forward. When you make this non-negotiable, you unlock a reservoir of strength and clarity that propels you beyond doubt and hesitation. Your future self will thank you for the commitment you make today, because every step, every breath, every motion brings you closer to the person you're destined to become. Your environment shapes you more than you realize. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you inhabit, and even the sounds and visuals that fill your day all send signals to your brain, influencing your thoughts, emotions, and actions. When your surroundings are cluttered, chaotic, or filled with negativity, they drain your energy and cloud your focus. But when you create a space that reflects your values and goals, you invite clarity, calm, and purpose into your life. This habit of designing your environment is not superficial. It's a profound act of self-respect and empowerment that sets the stage for everything you want to achieve. Imagine waking up each day in a space that fuels your ambition instead of draining it. A place where every item, every sound, and every interaction nudges you toward your best self. This doesn't require perfection or luxury, just intentionality. Clearing clutter, minimizing distractions, and filling your space with reminders of your vision can create a sanctuary for your mind and spirit. When your environment supports you, making choices aligned with your goals becomes easier. Your brain is no longer fighting against chaos, but working with order to amplify your focus and motivation. The people you spend time with are equally important. The energy, beliefs, and attitudes of those around you seep into your consciousness, shaping how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. Negative influences can sabotage your progress before you even realize it. They breed doubt, fear, and complacency. But surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, uplift you, and believe in your potential creates an invisible support system that propels you forward. Their success, discipline, and mindset become mirrors reflecting what you can achieve. The habit of choosing your inner circle consciously is a powerful lever for transformation. Your environment is also about the mental space you create, the information you consume, the habits you cultivate, and the rituals you practice all feed your subconscious. This mental landscape either nurtures your growth or stunts it. When you guard what enters your mind, choosing uplifting, educational, and inspiring content, you train yourself to think bigger, believe deeper, and act bolder. This habit of curating your mental environment is the secret weapon of every person who breaks free from limitation. It's the daily intake that fuels your courage and creativity. When your external and internal environments align with your vision, you create momentum that feels natural and unstoppable. You eliminate resistance by removing triggers for negativity and distraction. You build resilience by surrounding yourself with positivity and purpose. You empower your future self by designing the space and relationships that support your growth today. This is not a one-time task. It's a continuous, deliberate practice that rewires your reality. Taking control of your environment is a powerful declaration. You are no longer willing to let outside forces dictate your life. You are choosing to cultivate a life that reflects your highest aspirations. The space you create around you becomes a mirror of your inner strength and a catalyst for the transformation you seek. When you embrace this habit, you don't just change your surroundings, you change your life. Your mind craves clarity because clarity is the birthplace of action. When your thoughts are tangled, scattered, or overwhelmed, decision-making becomes exhausting and progress stalls. The habit of organizing your day with clear intentions cuts through this fog. It turns chaos into order and uncertainty into confidence. By defining your priorities each morning, you direct your focus to what truly matters instead of being pulled in endless directions by distractions and urgencies. This simple act of planning isn't just about managing time. It's about reclaiming control over your energy and willpower. When you know exactly what your day demands, your mind stops wandering and starts executing. Every choice you make becomes purposeful because you have a roadmap to follow. This clarity reduces anxiety, halts procrastination, and builds momentum that compounds as hours pass. Without a clear plan, your brain seeks constant stimulation and avoids difficult tasks. But with clarity, resistance diminishes because the path forward is visible and achievable. This habit is a powerful antidote to overwhelm, allowing you to conserve your mental resources for action rather than worry. Organizing your day also trains discipline and commitment. When you commit to outlining your goals and tasks, you create a contract with yourself. This contract strengthens your integrity and self-trust, essential foundations for long-term success. You become someone who shows up, follows through, and honors your own word. That reliability builds confidence, which fuels further progress. The small daily victories you achieve by sticking to your plan reinforce your belief that you are capable and deserving of success. Clarity also sharpens your ability to recognize and seize opportunities. When your mind is focused, you notice solutions instead of obstacles. You become proactive rather than reactive. This heightened awareness allows you to pivot quickly, make better decisions, and take consistent steps toward your goals. The habit of clear daily intention setting rewires your brain to operate with purpose, enabling you to move steadily through challenges without losing sight of your destination. This practice isn't about rigidity or perfection. Life is unpredictable, and flexibility is necessary. The power lies in your commitment to return to clarity each day, to reset your focus and realign your actions with your vision. This ongoing process builds resilience, adaptability, and a deep sense of agency. You stop being a passenger in your life and become the driver. Lake Driver. You decide where to go, how fast, and what detours to avoid. Creating clarity each morning is a simple yet profound habit that transforms how you experience time, stress, and achievement. It empowers you to live intentionally, act decisively, and progress relentlessly. By organizing your day with clear purpose, you build a mental framework that supports your growth and magnifies your potential. This clarity becomes the foundation upon which every success is built. When you make it a daily practice, you step into your power and unlock the momentum that turns dreams into reality. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. Every moment you spend dwelling on negativity, doubt, or fear chips away at your potential. Yet the habit of cultivating positive mental images is a powerful tool to shift your reality from limitation to possibility. Your mind is wired to respond to vivid images more deeply than to mere words. When you consciously create clear, positive pictures of your desired future, you activate the same neural pathways that are engaged during actual experiences. This sparks motivation, focus, and confidence in a way that mere wishful thinking never can. Visualizing success is not about fantasy or ignoring obstacles. It's about preparing your brain for achievement by rehearsing it in advance. When you see yourself overcoming challenges, taking bold steps, and reaching your goals with clarity and emotion, you build mental strength. This mental rehearsal trains your subconscious to recognize opportunities and solutions, aligning your thoughts and actions with your vision. The more detailed and emotionally charged these mental images are, the more real they become in your mind, fueling an unstoppable drive to make them happen. This habit rewires your brain's pattern of expectation. Instead of anticipating failure or setbacks, you expect success and focus on the steps to get there. Your mind becomes a fertile ground for growth rather than a battlefield. Visualization activates your brain's reward centers, releasing dopamine, the chemical that makes you feel motivated and eager to act. This biological response creates momentum, turning intention into action and dreams into tangible progress. Incorporating vivid mental imagery daily sharpens your decision-making. When faced with choices, your mind draws from these powerful images of success, guiding you to select options aligned with your goals. You become less reactive to fear and more proactive in creating solutions. This mental clarity enhances your resilience, enabling you to face setbacks without losing sight of your vision. The habit of visualization strengthens your belief that you are capable of creating the life you desire because your brain has already experienced it mentally. Visualization also enhances emotional regulation. When you picture yourself calm, confident, and focused during difficult moments, you prepare your nervous system to respond similarly in reality. This reduces stress and improves your ability to maintain composure under pressure. The habit fosters a sense of control and empowerment, reminding you that your future is not a random outcome, but a path you actively shape. This practice becomes a daily source of inspiration and courage. It connects your present actions to a meaningful future, giving you a reason to push through resistance and uncertainty. The images you create in your mind serve as a beacon, guiding your every step and strengthening your commitment. By making visualization a consistent habit, you harness the power of your subconscious to support your conscious efforts. The mind cannot distinguish between vividly imagined success and actual experience. When you repeatedly see yourself winning in your mind's eye, you program yourself to win in reality. This is not wishful thinking. It is a scientifically supported method to transform your mindset, increase motivation, and drive lasting change. Visualization is a small habit with enormous power, the key to unlocking the potential already inside you and bringing your greatest aspirations within reach. Gratitude transforms the way you see the world and yourself. When you cultivate the habit of recognizing what you already have, you shift your focus from scarcity to abundance. This simple shift rewires your brain to notice opportunities instead of obstacles, to find hope instead of despair. Gratitude acts as a powerful emotional anchor, grounding you in the present moment and creating space for joy, resilience, and clarity. It is not a superficial practice, but a profound tool that changes your mindset and rewires your neural pathways to support success. Each time you intentionally acknowledge something positive, even the smallest detail, you send a message to your brain that life is filled with good. This recognition sparks the release of dopamine and serotonin, chemicals that elevate mood and increase motivation. The more frequently you engage in this habit, the more your brain learns to seek out the positive, breaking cycles of negativity and self-doubt. Gratitude trains your mind to focus on what fuels your growth and fulfillment, building a foundation of emotional strength essential for pursuing big goals. Gratitude also enhances your relationships and your connection to the world around you. When you appreciate others, you deepen bonds and build trust. This social reinforcement creates a network of support that sustains you through challenges and setbacks. Feeling connected and valued is a fundamental human need, and gratitude strengthens this connection by encouraging empathy and generosity. The habit of expressing gratitude makes you more aware of the contributions others make to your life, inspiring cooperation and shared success. The emotional resilience gained from gratitude cannot be overstated. When difficulties arise, a grateful mindset helps you reframe challenges as opportunities to learn and grow rather than as defeat. This mental flexibility reduces stress and promotes problem solving, turning setbacks into stepping stones. Gratitude helps you maintain perspective, reminding you that even in hard times, there is something to appreciate and something to strive for. This balanced viewpoint fuels persistence and hope, critical ingredients for transformation. Developing this habit also reinforces your identity as a person who sees value and potential everywhere. This identity shift nurtures optimism and courage, essential for taking risks and embracing change. When gratitude becomes your default state, you build emotional reserves that protect you from burnout and despair. You become someone who faces life's uncertainties with confidence and grace, knowing that each day holds both challenges and blessings. Practicing gratitude daily is a deliberate choice to focus on growth, possibility, and abundance. It strengthens your mental and emotional muscles, enabling you to handle pressure with calmness and clarity. This habit is the gateway to lasting happiness, peace, and success, because it rewires your brain to notice and create good in every situation. It is the foundation that sustains your momentum when motivation wanes and obstacles seem overwhelming. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a transformative practice that shapes how you experience life. By committing to this habit, you unlock a powerful source of energy and inspiration that fuels your journey. Gratitude rewires your brain, elevates your spirit, and connects you to a deeper purpose. It empowers you to move forward with confidence, resilience, and unwavering belief in the abundance waiting for you. Every day, your body sends signals to your mind, shaping your energy, focus, and emotional state. Ignoring these signals is a silent thief stealing your potential. The habit of caring for your physical health through movement, rest, and nutrition is not just about survival. It's the foundation of your mental strength and resilience. When you prioritize your body, you fuel your mind with the energy it needs to think clearly, act decisively, and endure challenges. This connection between body and mind is a powerful key to transformation. Movement ignites your brain's ability to create new connections and release chemicals that boost mood and motivation. Even brief periods of exercise increase blood flow, sharpen focus, and reduce stress. This physical activation signals your brain that you are ready to engage, to push forward with determination. When you make moving your body a daily habit, you build a rhythm of energy and mental clarity that supports every action towards your goals. This is not about extreme workouts or perfection, but consistent, intentional movement that honors your body and ignites your spirit. Rest is equally critical. Your brain and body need time to recover and integrate the experiences and lessons of each day. Sleep is the most powerful reset button you have. It consolidates memories, repairs cells, and balances hormones that regulate mood and stress. Without adequate rest, your ability to think creatively, manage emotions, and maintain willpower deteriorates. The habit of protecting your rest is an act of self-respect and strategic advantage. When you honor your need for sleep, you show up stronger, more focused, and ready to face demands with clarity and courage. Nutrition fuels your body and mind with the raw materials necessary for growth and resilience. What you eat affects your energy levels, brain function, and emotional balance. Consuming nutrient-rich foods supports sustained focus and emotional stability, while poor choices drain your vitality and cloud your thinking. The habit of mindful eating, choosing foods that nourish rather than deplete, reinforces your commitment to yourself and your vision. It's a daily reminder that small, consistent choices compound into powerful results. When you integrate movement, rest, and nutrition into your daily routine, you create a physical foundation that supports mental and emotional strength. Your body becomes an ally rather than an obstacle. You gain stamina to pursue long-term goals without burning out. You sharpen your ability to manage stress, resist distractions, and maintain motivation. This physical self-care is not indulgence. It is essential preparation for transformation. This habit also cultivates discipline. Caring for your body daily requires commitment and intention. Each time you choose to move, rest, or nourish yourself, you reinforce your identity as someone who values growth and well-being. This growing self-trust strengthens your overall resilience and confidence, fueling every other positive habit you build. Your body is the vessel carrying your dreams into reality. Treating it with respect and care creates a powerful cycle of energy, focus, and emotional balance. When this habit becomes part of your life, you unlock greater potential to transform challenges into opportunities and vision into achievement. Prioritizing your physical health is not just a habit. It's the foundation of your unstoppable journey toward the life you deserve. Every thought you entertain holds the power to shape your reality. The habit of monitoring your internal dialogue, the voice inside your head, is crucial to transforming your life. Negative thoughts act like chains, binding you to doubt and fear. But when you consciously choose to replace them with affirming, empowering beliefs, you rewrite the script of your future. This practice rewires your brain, transforming limiting patterns into a fertile ground for confidence and action. Your mind becomes your greatest ally instead of your harshest critic. Recognizing negative self-talk requires mindfulness, the ability to observe your thoughts without judgment. This awareness is the first step toward change because what you resist persists. By noticing when your inner voice becomes critical or fearful, you create a pause between stimulus and response. This pause is where power lies, the power to decide what you believe and how you act. Every moment spent challenging negative thoughts weakens their hold, gradually freeing you to think bigger, bolder, and more positively. Replacing doubt with affirmations fuels your subconscious mind with new beliefs. These affirmations are not empty phrases, but intentional statements that reflect the person you are becoming. When repeated consistently, they reprogram your neural pathways to support courage, perseverance, and self-worth. This habit creates a mental environment where growth thrives and obstacles appear less daunting. Your brain begins to expect success, aligning your emotions and actions with that expectation. The impact of transforming your internal dialogue goes far beyond thoughts alone. Your emotions follow your beliefs, and your behaviors follow your emotions. Positive self-talk boosts your mood, increases your motivation, and strengthens your resilience. It reduces stress and anxiety by replacing fear-based narratives with stories of possibility and strength. This shift is essential for maintaining momentum during difficult times when your inner critic tends to be loudest. Cultivating empowering self-talk also enhances your decision-making. When you trust yourself and your abilities, you take more decisive actions. You become less hesitant and more willing to take risks, understanding that mistakes are part of growth rather than failures. This confidence builds on itself, creating a virtuous cycle of progress and belief. The habit of affirming your worth and potential rewires your brain to act in alignment with your highest goals. This practice demands consistency and patience. Your mind has spent years building certain patterns, and it takes time to build new ones. But every moment invested in choosing empowering thoughts chips away at the old destructive narratives. You build mental strength that shields you from setbacks and criticism, allowing you to move forward with greater clarity and courage. This habit becomes the foundation for a resilient, unstoppable mindset. Mastering your internal dialogue transforms your relationship with yourself and the world. It unlocks a source of strength, motivation, and clarity that empowers you to face life's challenges head-on. When you commit to this habit, you stop being a victim of your thoughts and become the author of your story. Your mind becomes a tool for growth and transformation, propelling you toward the life you have always envisioned. Your environment shapes who you become more than you realize. The people you surround yourself with, the spaces you inhabit, and the energy you allow and all influence your mindset and actions. The habit of consciously choosing and curating your environment is a powerful act of self-care and self-mastery. When you control the influences around you, you create fertile ground for growth, clarity, and resilience. This habit empowers you to protect your focus, fuel your motivation, and align your surroundings with your deepest aspirations. Every interaction with others sends subtle messages to your subconscious. Being around negative, doubtful, or toxic people reinforces limiting beliefs and drains your emotional energy. Conversely, surrounding yourself with positive, driven, and supportive individuals lifts your spirits and strengthens your resolve. This social reinforcement is a critical, often overlooked force behind success. When your environment supports your vision, your mind naturally adopts the attitudes, habits, and energy of those around you. This is not mere coincidence. It is psychology at work. You become the average of the people you spend the most time with. Physical spaces also hold tremendous power over your mindset. Clutter, disorganization, and chaos create mental noise that disrupts focus and drains energy. A clean, intentional environment fosters clarity, calm, and motivation. The habit of regularly organizing your surroundings signals to your brain that you are in control, capable, and ready to act. It reduces decision fatigue by eliminating distractions and sets the stage for productivity and creativity. This daily discipline translates into stronger self-control and a sharper ability to prioritize what matters most. Your digital environment, the content you consume, and the time spent on screens directly impacts your mental state. Mindless scrolling, negative news, and toxic online interactions hijack your attention and fuel anxiety. In contrast, intentionally selecting uplifting, educational, and inspiring content nurtures growth and resilience. Creating boundaries around technology, use frees mental space for focus and reflection. This habit protects your energy and sharpens your capacity to engage deeply with your goals. It strengthens your ability to be present and intentional rather than reactive and distracted. This conscious shaping of your environment creates a feedback loop that accelerates transformation. Each positive influence builds momentum, reinforcing your commitment to growth and excellence. The habit strengthens your sense of agency. You become the architect of your life rather than a passive observer. It also builds emotional resilience as a supportive environment buffers stress and discourages self-sabotage. When your surroundings align with your vision, you feel empowered, inspired, and unstoppable. This habit requires courage and commitment because it often means making difficult choices, limiting exposure to negativity, letting go of toxic relationships, and creating new routines. But these sacrifices are necessary investments in your future self. By protecting your environment, you protect your progress. You create a space where your best self can emerge, thrive, and lead. Taking control of your environment is a daily practice of respect for your dreams and well-being. It unlocks greater mental clarity, emotional strength, and motivation to pursue what matters most. This habit fuels every other effort you make and creates a foundation for lasting transformation. When you master your environment, you master your life. The power of gratitude is often underestimated, yet it is one of the most transformative habits you can develop. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant in your life. This shift rewires your brain to notice opportunities instead of obstacles, to appreciate progress instead of fixating on setbacks. When practiced consistently, gratitude nurtures a deep sense of fulfillment and resilience, fueling the courage needed to pursue your highest goals even when the path feels uncertain or daunting. Gratitude is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It is about consciously acknowledging the good amidst difficulty, recognizing small wins and hidden blessings that sustain your spirit. This practice awakens your brain's reward system, releasing chemicals that elevate mood and motivation. Each moment of genuine gratitude strengthens neural pathways associated with optimism and joy, creating a positive feedback loop that enhances mental and emotional strength. This neurological change makes it easier to stay hopeful, calm, and focused when faced with adversity. Incorporating gratitude into your daily routine changes your perspective on failure and struggle. Instead of viewing setbacks as defeats, you begin to see them as lessons and stepping stones. This mindset reduces fear and resistance, encouraging you to take risks and embrace growth. Gratitude builds emotional resilience, allowing you to recover faster from disappointment and maintain the energy needed to keep moving forward. It anchors you in a place of strength and possibility rather than despair. Expressing gratitude deepens your connection to yourself and the world around you. It shifts your attention outward, reminding you that you are part of a larger whole. This sense of belonging combats feelings of isolation and fuels motivation to contribute, improve, and succeed. Gratitude strengthens relationships by fostering appreciation and empathy, creating a supportive network that reinforces your journey. When you are grateful, you naturally attract positivity, creating an environment that nurtures your transformation. The habit of gratitude also enhances mindfulness. It demands presence, awareness of the current moment, and the ability to savor it fully. This awareness breaks the cycle of worry and distraction, allowing you to focus your energy on what truly matters. When gratitude becomes automatic, your mind prioritizes meaningful experiences and personal growth over fleeting pleasures or external validation. This clarity sharpens your decision-making and strengthens your resolve. Consistency is key. Gratitude practiced sporadically may offer temporary relief, but when woven into the fabric of your daily life, it reshapes your entire worldview. Starting and ending your day with moments of gratitude programs your brain for success and contentment. This habit is a daily commitment to recognizing the good that fuels your journey, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. Gratitude transforms your inner landscape, creating fertile ground for courage, perseverance, and joy. It empowers you to rise above challenges, embrace growth, and cultivate a mindset of abundance. When you choose gratitude, you choose to see your life and yourself as worthy, capable, and full of potential. This habit is a catalyst for deep, lasting change that radiates through every part of your being, lighting the way to a future shaped by your highest vision. The simple act of setting clear intentions each day holds extraordinary power to shape your life. Without direction, your energy disperses into distractions and indecision. But when you take the deliberate step to define your purpose and goals every morning, you create a roadmap for your mind to follow. This habit transforms vague desires into focused action, turning dreams into setting intentions anchors your attention, fuels motivation, and strengthens your commitment to what truly matters. Intentions are not mere wishes or hopes. They are conscious decisions that guide your behavior and mindset throughout the day. They act as a filter for your choices, helping you say no to what doesn't align and yes to what propels you forward. This clarity dissolves confusion and overwhelm, replacing it with confidence and momentum. When your intentions are clear, every step you take has meaning, and every action becomes a building block toward your vision. The neuroscience behind intention setting reveals how powerful this habit truly is. Your brain thrives on clear goals. When you set intentions, your prefrontal cortex at the decision-making center activates, helping you resist impulses that derail progress. This strengthens your ability to focus and regulate emotions, making you more resilient against setbacks. The repetition of daily intentions rewires your brain for sustained discipline and heightened awareness, creating new neural pathways that support your success. This habit also cultivates mindfulness and presence. Starting your day with intention forces you to pause and reflect on what you want to create rather than rushing blindly through routines. This moment of clarity centers your mind and grounds your emotions. It builds a bridge between your highest self and daily reality, connecting values to actions. By living with intention, you align your inner world with your outer choices, fostering harmony and purpose. Intentions empower you to take control of your narrative. They remind you that you are not a passive observer of life, but an active participant shaping your destiny. This sense of agency ignites motivation and courage, especially when challenges arise. Instead of reacting out of habit or fear, you respond with purpose and clarity. This habit rewrites old patterns of procrastination, distraction, and self-doubt, replacing them with deliberate, focused action. Moreover, setting intentions enhances emotional regulation. When you know what you want to achieve, you can manage stress and frustration more effectively. Intentions act as anchors during turbulent moments, reminding you of your greater purpose and helping you stay calm and composed. This emotional steadiness fuels persistence and creativity, allowing you to navigate obstacles with grace and strength. This daily ritual is an act of self-respect and empowerment. It signals to your subconscious that your goals matter, increasing your motivation to pursue them relentlessly. Consistency is key. Over time, setting intentions creates momentum that propels you forward even on days when motivation wanes. It transforms vague desires into tangible outcomes, shaping a life driven by purpose, passion, and clarity. When you commit to setting intentions, you transform each day into an opportunity for growth and achievement. This habit fuels your journey with direction, focus, and emotional strength, lighting the path toward the life you deserve. You become the architect of your future, designing it one intentional moment at a time.